Hey guys, how are you? It's a beautiful day. It's a little bit windy. Had to put a headband on because my hair got a little bit cray cray in the wind, but just got back from a walk and I was feeling like I needed to move my body. I have been a little bit not very good with the gym, so back on track this week. So I thought today would be a walk. Tomorrow I'll get back on my good life routine. But anyways, I had the pleasure of listening to Janine Roth and hey Anna, and she was on Bulletproof Radio, I guess they call it. It's Dave Asprey's podcast. If you have iTunes, you just subscribe to it. And Janine Roth is kind of one of my favorite authors. Hey Bren, how's it going? She talks about women, food, and God. That's kind of her first entryway into the literary world, where she really hit it off. She has like 8 best-selling books, and I actually went to one of her retreats a couple years ago, and I wanted to go over the eating guidelines, her eating guidelines. There's 7 of them. So I'm going to relate my experience with her guidelines. So the first one is eating when you're hungry. And I kind of just went through this myself. I got back from a wicked walk, and I look at the clock. It's like 1 o'clock. It's lunchtime, or at least that's what society tells us. And I thought, yeah, I should probably make some lunch. But then I checked in with my body, and I thought, you know what? I'm not completely 110% hungry. I'm just gonna wait a bit. So I'm gonna have some water and do my Facebook Live and then see how I feel, see if I'm hungry. So that's what she means when her first guideline states, eat when you're hungry. Just because it's a particular time in the day doesn't mean you have to eat at that time. The second one is eat sitting down in a calm environment. And this doesn't mean the car, which is such a biggie for a lot of people because if it's a smoothie, and they might grab a smoothie and drink that on the way to work, or if it's Tim Hortons, they're grabbing a bagel or a egg McMuffin sandwich from McDonald's, whatever it is, and they're eating that on the way, and they're not being present with their food. And then you're driving, it's stressful, especially morning traffic here in Toronto. It's a little bit nutty, so you're not in a rest and digest state for the food to properly assimilate into the body. So just if you are going to grab something on the way to work, I would prefer that you eat that when you get there, when you're seated in a calm position. Hopefully you can get to your staff kitchen and just have your breakfast then. The third one is eat without distraction. So, God, we're such a distracted nation, whether it's radio, TV, cell phone, talking to a friend, driving, reading a book, conversations, music, whatever it is. You don't want to be having food while you're doing these things. You want to be sitting down at hopefully a kitchen table that you've set the table. You're being present with your food. Each bite that you're eating, you're having your bite of food, you're putting your fork down, you're tasting everything. You're just you're being one with your meal, I say. So that's number 3. And number 4 is eating what your body wants. I know it's getting a lot colder. I see my cousin Brendan's online, and he's up in Alberta, so I'm sure they've got some snow there. So the body is craving more warm, comforting type foods. So you want to honor that. Smoothies probably aren't really a thing that you're craving right now because it is getting colder. So maybe it's oatmeals, or maybe it's like baked oatmeals or muffins, or eggs would be great, just because they're warm and they're soothing and comforting to the body. And then for dinners, it might be like broths and soups and casseroles, like stuff that's warm, that's going to make you feel internally warm, right? So just listening in on what your body needs and wants at that particular time. And number 5 is eating until you're satisfied. I believe the magic number is 20 minutes until we actually start to feel full. So kind of as you're eating, putting your fork down, really enjoying what you're eating. Fat tends to satiate us, so always including fat with your meal. So whether it's a healthy fat, I want to say, whether it's avocado or avocado oil, which is kind of my new favorite, plantain chips, which are a little bit fattier right now that I'm enjoying. What else could you do? Olive oils on your salads, like some nuts and seeds. They've got lots of fat, nut butters, that sort of thing. So that's going to satiate you, and that's going to slow down the glycemic load to your blood sugar, right? So you're just not going to spike blood sugar. It's going to keep everything sort of status quo, everything level. And it's going to make you full, right? So you're not going to be craving all of these extra things after you actually have your meal. Number 6 is eat with the intention of being in full view of others. And this is a big one because I think there's so much food shaming these days as to like, oh my God, are you vegan? Are you paleo? Are you vegetarian? Are you this or that? There's so many labels surrounding food these days, is that some people don't feel comfortable being vegan or being paleo, or they're a little bit ashamed. So own what you are. There doesn't necessarily need to be a label attached to what you eat. I always say just eat whole foods. People ask me like, what are you? I say, yeah, I mainly eat paleo, but I eat whole foods, right? Not hiding your food. So if it is like, I'm using the example of fries. I don't know, fries tend to be a negative stigma when it comes to eating. So if you are going to have those fries with your meal, enjoy them. It may not be every day. Maybe you're having them, once a month or whatever it is. Just really enjoy the taste and the flavor and be done with it. Like don't overthink it. So that's my stance on owning your food choices. And number 7, eating with enjoyment, gusto, and pleasure. I love this one because whenever I watch kids eat, it's really funny. Like, let's say it's a cracker or a cookie. They take so much time and dedication to eating just this one cracker, whereas us as adults, we're like shoving it down and we're trying to like get to the next one. So approaching food with that mentality of, taking one bite at a time and really enjoying what's in our mouths and sort of trying to figure out the flavor notes and just being with our food is kind of where I'm at with that one. So just bringing the pleasure back into eating as opposed to, oh, food is just fuel, So that's the 7 eating guidelines from, her name is Geneen Roth. This is one of her other books, Breaking Free from Emotional Eating. Great read. It's her, a lot of it's her story on what she struggled with in the last, I want to say 40 years with eating. So hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.